pledge to me. It's makes me feel very patriotic when I recite it. Makes me feel proud to be an American, and most of all, it makes me think about and be thankful for the sacrifices made by the men and women who came before me.
This is sort of a way to promise to my government and to the people of the United States, in a sense, that I kind of care about what's going on and that I am not just here to be here, I'm here for a reason and to make a difference.
And this is the structure you're going to need to remember when we start talking about the Revolutionary War.
We do several different things. We have where they're looking at documents and analyzing in history, how did citizens respond, and how does that teach us going forward what we want to do as citizens and why it's so important as citizens to participate in our government today.
There wasn't that separation of church and state that we have today.
Before coming into the 8th grade, I didn't really understand the government that much, since our teachers mainly focused on the past. And now with Ms. Freeman talking about, democratic ideals and republicanism, I can really understand, what's going on and why it's happening. And it's less of a just, oh, this event is going on and it's bad or it's good. It's more, I can apply the context from class into it and understand it better.
Homework tonight. If you're not done with these documents, make sure you finish up.
So teaching the fundamentals of civics and government is most important to us. We have the honor and privilege of teaching that. Not only is it a requirement within our standards, K through 12, but we feel like it's part of our responsibility in creating productive citizens. It starts very young with children when they're in kindergarten. They learn about what it means to be a citizen, and that's important that we start right from the very beginning, and it goes all the way through 12th grade. So we look at local government, we look at state government, we look at national, and then we look at how did government form over time, the Constitution, all of those pieces that are most fundamental we begin to look at. And as we get towards our required civics courses in high school, we really start to think about all that information they've gained from all those different collaborators. How is that going to impact them once they leave high school and become productive citizens in Moore County? So it's important to us. We are honored to teach that because it helps make the student more well-rounded as they go out into the real world.
Moving on to new business, I know that it's kind of far away, but we have our Moore County Leadership Conference in March.
I've been a part of student government since my freshman year, so I've had a lot of sit in on meetings and kind of put my input in, and this year I was like, I think that I can really do something good for the school.
Or a toy drive.
It's really opened my eye to wow, this is how the school runs, and this is why we do some things and why we don't.
I'd hope we know something by today so we can continue planning.
I think in order to be a good citizen, you have to understand, the world you live in the government and how your role is in part impacted by that.
It was either a group number or an agenda, either way, however it worked, and they assigned different speakers, different classrooms.
Well, I think being a part of student government allows you to have a voice within the school. And so I'm proud of the students who have decided to make it a point for them to dedicate some service during their high school years. What I try to incorporate as often as possible, whether that's in my civics class or in my AP government classes, is current events that challenge their preconceived notions. It's not to change their minds on an issue, but to have them think critically about an issue.
Sometimes when we talk about how important the reading and the math and everything is, that we forget that we have to create citizens as well, and the only way to do that is to have this social studies and this civics education as a big part of their education as well.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now that you've learned how Moore County School teaches our children to become engaged citizens, I'd like to ask our federally connected families to lead by example by completing this year's Federal Impact Aid surveys. Federal Impact Aid is designed to assist local school districts that have lost tax revenue due to the presence of tax-exempt federal property or experienced an increase in expenditures due to the enrollment of federally connected children. Active duty personnel, contractors or subcontractors for the federal government, civilian workers on federal property, and those who live in federal housing are asked to participate. The deadline to submit the completed surveys is Thursday, November 9th. Downloadable surveys and detailed instructions can be found online at the district's website, Military Families page at www.ncmcs.org/military families. Thank you for your participation in supporting Moore County Schools.